Welcome back. USA Rare Earth, a critical mineral production company, finalizing the execution of agreements with the Commerce Department. This would unlock access to up to $1.6 billion in funding to support the company's operations and mining of critical minerals, bringing the total committed capital to roughly $3.5 billion. Joining me now, the woman behind all of this is USA Rare Earth CEO Barbara Humpton. Barbara, welcome back. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you, Maria.
So you've outlined specifics on the plan for this $1.6 billion in government funding. Barbara, can you walk us through it? How are you going to execute this direct funding agreement? I know this is supposed to be paid in phases across various projects. What can you tell us?
Yeah, Maria, this is a fantastic deal for the American people. The way the Department of Commerce, after extensive due diligence, structured the deal, we, the private sector, need to raise the funds to build out our capabilities. And then, as we achieve certain milestones, prove out our ability and execute, then we will receive reimbursement to a certain level from the U.S. government. It helps us assure that we have the capital required for this audacious plan we have. Here it is. Over the next several years, we are building all three links in this value chain from mine to magnet. Part one is in Sierra Blanca, Texas, helping to develop Round Top. It's a deposit that's well known, rich in heavy rare earths, and we're at that critical phase of doing drilling, assaying the core samples that we have now, confirming what we believe about that deposit. And if we're successful, this year we'll have a report that will tell our viewers, our investors, that we're ready to go with mine development. Meanwhile, that same team is busy working on the chemistry, the metallurgy that will process the ore from that mountain. We have successful demonstrations going on in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. But fly south to Goiás, Brazil, and what you'll see, we announced the acquisition of Serra Verde Group. Their Pela Ema mine is in the final stages of debottlenecking operations, ramping up, getting ready to produce. And when we close this acquisition, which we expect to do in the third quarter, they will be ramping up operations, and they are the only operating mine currently producing all four magnetic rare earths. So yes, from mining to processing, things are underway. Metal making, you know, has already been producing, and I'm proud to say that our magnet makers in Stillwater, Oklahoma, have commissioned, and they are in production now for materials that are being validated by multiple customers.
That is excellent, Barbara. And I know you have been walking us through your plans throughout as you ramp up and try to scale your business up. You will also, as part of this agreement, you will issue 16.1 million shares to the government, along with 17.6 million warrants, representing 8 to 15% company ownership, depending on the warrant exercise plans. How will things be different when you have government as a shareholder?
Yeah, the American people become shareholders in USA Rare Earth, and the government has been very clear with us. They're taking an economic stake, not a governance stake. So the Department of Commerce colleagues obviously are thrilled to be holding those shares on behalf of the American people, and then our job is to build as quickly as we can.
Now, unfortunately, you are also being sued by one of your competitors, MP Materials, in a Texas state court over alleged theft of proprietary magnet manufacturing technology. You've made a statement about this already, strongly denying these allegations, calling them baseless. But I guess my question for this is both companies have received money or are receiving money from the government as part of the Trump administration in an effort to build the domestic rare earth supply chain. One key question is, does this litigation in any way delay your magnet production timeline?
Maria, not at all. In fact, we vigorously believe that this mischaracterizes our people, our company, our culture, and we are staying focused on the job at hand. Our job is to deliver a solution, making sure we break China's grip on the permanent magnet and rare earth supply chain. Yes, we will take appropriate action and deal with this in the proper method, but my heavens, right now is the time to be focused on making progress. And people in this industry can and should be working together to solve the problems before us.
Yeah, I mean, look, the question is, does this become a broader test of intellectual property protection in the U.S. and in the rare earth industry in general? Because you've got a former engineer from MP who came to USA Rare Earth and, according to MP, brought confidential trade secrets with him improperly. This disputed technology relates to the grain boundary diffusion, a process used to improve the performance of permanent magnets for electric vehicles and defense systems and electronics. What do you want to say about that, that they're saying this engineer brought, improperly brought confidential secrets with him?
Maria, we are hiring people from across the sector. We're looking for the top talents, and people are attracted to USA Rare Earth for a couple of reasons. One reason is that we actually have brought together all the links in the value chain. They know that they're joining a company that has access to all the supplies and can drive the offtake that will build the sector successfully. They're also coming to us because of the incredible investment being made so that we can advance intellectual property. Again, we will defend our stance vigorously in the appropriate channels, but I'm confident, and we are very clear with all of our employees, that we have no intent, nor are we using other people's intellectual property to advance, and we are rapidly advancing the state of the art with our own operations.
Yeah, you sure are. And real quick on those operations, you mentioned some of them. You're beginning commercial grade rare earth magnet production at your hydrometal facility in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. You just mentioned it, all from samples from recycled magnet scrap, making USA Rare Earth one of the few companies outside of Asia to execute this kind of production technique. What do you want to say about this? Because you recently announced a new facility in South Carolina to begin operations in 2028, and this is going to put a dent, or hopefully put a dent, in China's dominance of this industry. Assess the competitive backdrop here between the U.S. and China.
Maria, this is exactly the point. Yes, China has had, they have access to about half of the rare earths required, and we believe that their future economy will consume much of what they have. Here's the whole premise. We need additional access to rare earths and the oxides that are processed from them. And having rare earths in oxide form gives us the ability to make critical metals and magnets. Now, at USA Rare Earth, we know one of the weakest links has been processing. So we've been conducting our own work and have succeeded in moving from bench testing to demonstration. We are now piloting at our Hydromet demonstration facility the separation of these critical rare earths. And last week, I held in my hand a vial of our first dysprosium oxide, actually collected from the very magnet swarf, the filings and shavings from our own magnet production facility. Here, we're able to recover and reuse what would have otherwise been waste. This is the power of the work of the entire value chain.
Amazing. Wow, you're doing it, Barbara. What President Trump has directed and has asked to actually put a dent in China's dominance here. Thank you for that. Barbara, we'll be watching your work. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Maria.
Barbara Humpton joining us, USA Rare Earth. We'll be right back. You're watching Mornings with Maria, live on Fox Business.